Now that week one has officially concluded, I'm going to be starting my series every Tuesday called Predictions Tuesday, where I'll be doing predictions on the following week of the NFL, and that will be at the end of the video. But at the beginning of the video, I will be giving a nice little roundup and reacting to what happened the previous week. So let's get started with that. Week one on Thursday Night Football, we had the defending champs receive the Buffalo Bills, who everybody and their mom has predicted to make the Super Bowl. And I had the Bills winning that game, and they indeed did, but I did not think they were going to absolutely blow out the Rams. I thought it was going to be a competitive game, but it seemed like the Bills have a chip on their shoulder. You got Stephon Diggs on the sideline telling the fans that he's him. So the Bills are on demon time, I'll tell you that. But anyways, the next game is Panthers-Browns. I had the Panthers, winning, Baker Mayfield having a game against the Browns, showing them what's up, and that completely did not happen. It did not. Baker Mayfield looked dumb, saying that he was going to mess up the Browns, all this. A lot of talk and not enough bite. Ends up losing to Jacoby Brissett, the former Dolphins backup, former Patriot, former Colt. And yeah, he lost to him. So a backup quarterback, basically. Now the Browns look like they took the W of the Deshaun Watson thing, because you're over here winning games with Jacoby Brissett. Imagine what you'll do if Deshaun Watson comes back good. But anyways, it's only week one. Now, Steelers-Bengals. I had the Steelers winning. I 100% thought that the Steelers are going to go in there and win, because one thing you don't predict against is Week 1 Steelers away from home are demons, alright? These guys last year went to the Buffalo Bills Stadium and beat them. And it was a lucky game too. I'm not going to lie. This game was a bit lucky. A lot of things went our way that usually won't go our way. And last time it was off a block punt. This time they missed a ton of field goals and we win at the end of overtime. That's an insane win. Minkah Fitzpatrick, obviously MVP of the game, but as a fan, this doesn't feel like a win because TJ Watt possibly will be out for the season. It's still yet to be determined, but that does not feel like a win in my opinion. So, right there, Steelers win the battle, but the war, heavy defeat, man. Heavy defeat. But at least Najee Harris is ready to go for next week. But anyways, the Bengals, Joe Burrow. What does he do? Hit the gap. Hit the gap. Ice in his veins. Joe Burrow. All that stuff that I heard last year, that Joe Burrow was the next Tom Brady, all this stuff, that he was great, amazing, the next face of football, he absolutely stunk it up. Joe Burrow had 4 turnovers in the first half. In the first half. This guy's supposed to be the next best thing. Going up, he gave Cam Sutton, who's one of the worst corners I watch every week, get an interception off him. Cam Sutton gets burnt. He's like the Eli Apple of the Steelers. He's awful. In the slot, he's okay, but you throw him on an island, you're getting a 75-yard tub every time. And he throws a pick against them. Awful, man. Awful. He was absolutely getting destroyed out there. This dude stunk it up. He was fumbling in overtime. He just sucked. He sucked. And it put a smile on my face seeing Joe Burrow and Jamar Chase thinking they won the game. Cheesing, damn, bro. They really thought they were going to beat us. And boom, missed field goal. Boom, you lost the game. Who looks dumb now? So that really put a smile on my face. I'm not going to lie. But, we'll see. If they don't win next week against the Cowboys without Dak Prescott, things are going to get a little tough for Joe Burrow and the media. But, that probably won't happen. Anyways. Then we've got Colts-Texans. It's a tie. Jesus Christ. I did not think we were going to have a tie this year. And personally, as a guy who has seen a lot of ties with their team, I'd rather lose than draw. But it happened. I think the Colts are supposed to be a really good team this year, but they're tying with the Texans. So is that making me question things? Not really. It's week one. Anyways, Ravens-Jets. The Ravens absolutely did what they had to do and beat the Joe Flacco Jets without Zach Wilson. Now, honestly, that game went like everybody thought it would. The Ravens are going to win. The Jets had really no chance. But I do think the Ravens are overrated because they have absolutely no targets aside from Mark Andrews. When you look at their, targets, J.K. Dobbins is hurt, the running back. Now you look at the backfield and you're just like, who's going to be RB1 if J.K. Dobbins isn't healthy? Then Mark Andrews, obviously an elite tight end. Wide receivers, you got your, punt specialist in Duvernay, Rashad Bateman, Robinson. Like, these guys aren't elite receivers or even good receivers. They're like, they're mid targets. So I really do think the Ravens really need to upgrade the receiving core after trading Marquise Brown. So that's why I don't really rate them. A lot of people, I saw a so-called expert predict them for the Super Bowl, and I was just like, Jesus Christ, you should really give away your title as expert to someone else, because the Ravens are not even going to make the playoffs in my eyes. But anyways, Chiefs, Cardinals. The Chiefs absolutely blow out the Cardinals. I thought it was going to be a lot closer. I did think the Chiefs are going to win, but Mahomes went off. As a former fantasy owner last year, this was absolutely heartbreaking to see, because Mahomes was dropping 10 points a game. Now he dropped that was an impressive game. I'm not going to lie, but Chiefs defense, is still kind of shaky. Tyrann Mathieu, you could tell he's not there, but if they're dropping 40 points every game, I'm sure they'll be fine. Then you've got the Packers-Vikings. I'm really high on the Vikings. I think they're going to be the number 1 seed, like I said in my predictions video. And they beat the Packers. I think the Packers are going to struggle at first because it's a completely different offense now that you see 2 running backs at the same time on the field with Aaron Rodgers. And then there's no Devontae Adams, and you've got guys dropping passes when they should be touchdowns. He's frustrated. He needs to know who's going to be his guy. And obviously he's had a couple injuries as well in the wide receiver with, Lazard being out. But I think the Packers will still make the playoffs, but the Vikings are the real deal. Anyways, we've got Bucks, Cowboys. I didn't think the Cowboys had it in them, and then they had the worst news of their lives. Dak Prescott is out for multiple weeks, and now, the Cowboys season is over. It's over. And the Tampa Bay Buccaneers did what they had to do. They got 19 points, shut out the Cowboys. They have an elite defense. Nothing too surprising there. Saints almost lost to the Falcons, but luckily the Falcons are known for choking, and they came back to win it. You had Jameis Winston, throwing up words for the first time out of his vocabulary, which was shocking. And, they win. Then we've got 49ers versus the Bears. That game, I'm not going to lie, Trey Lance is getting a lot of stick for that game. And what am I going to say here? Well, I think the 49ers are still going to be good. Yes. They had the worst possible week 1, conditions that you could possibly have. You had, Bosa going out there looking at the rain and being, returning to the locker room. That was absolutely trash. And Trey Lance for his season opener in a pool he was basically playing in was, the worst thing that could have happened. And the Bears took advantage of that home field, and they end up winning, shocking the world, even myself. Then you've got the Eagles versus Lions. High-scoring game, but these are 2 really good offenses. I think the Lions are going to have a better season, probably not make the playoffs, but I think 7 wins is around what they'll get. The Eagles, in my opinion, are going to win their division, so they really showed that their offense is really good, which is, pretty impressive. Anyways, Patriots, Dolphins. Tua never wins against the Patriots. That's a crazy stat line for you. He's 4-0. Bill Belichick seems to be able to figure out everybody but Tua Tagovailoa, even though this guy had a couple stinkers against the Patriots, but he has elite wide receivers, which will ultimately help him out. So hopefully, in my opinion, I really hope the Dolphins can do something this year, because they've had a lot of mediocrity in past years, but we'll see what they can do. I think they'll end up, doing decent, getting double-digit wins, but he needs to be a little bit more better. I think Tua had some throws where you're thinking, who is he targeting? But, they beat the Patriots, got the job done. You can't really knock a guy down for winning. Jaguars, Commanders, that was an interesting game. I thought the Jags are going to win. Carson Wentz even threw a couple picks, but the Commanders come out on top. I've been really high on the Jaguars making the playoffs, and they start 0-1. Which I think they are still going to make the playoffs. Yes, I'm still back in that prediction, but I think ultimately Trevor Lawrence needs to turn up, has to have that second year that I think he's going to have, that he's going to end up, having a not an MVP kind of, but a bounce back year. I need him to do well. He needs to carry this team, similar to how kind of like Mahomes, Herbert, those kinds of stat years. If he can put up those numbers, I'm sure they'll make the playoffs. I know Herbert didn't do it, but I'm sure if he puts up similar numbers as Herbert in his bounce back and his second year, they're gonna make the playoffs. Anyways, Giants, Titans. The Giants shocked the world. They shocked the world. Absolutely did. I didn't think Saquon Barkley was going to turn into a monster. He absolutely did. Now, the question is, can he stay healthy? Well, I mean, hopefully he does because, geez, Saquon Barkley was menacing. He was out here telling, getting in Fulton's face after the 2-point conversion. He was crazy. On fantasy, wow. He was crazy. I'm not going to lie. He proved me wrong. I'll tell you that for week 1. Broncos, Seahawks shocked the world. The coach was horrible. He settles for a 64-yard field goal. Doesn't take a timeout to talk to Russell Wilson. Just says, you know what, we're settling it. We're going to kill the clock, so it's a break. It's a miss or make here, or make or break. That's what I'm trying to think of. And guess what? He absolutely misses the field goal, and the Seahawks get the last laugh on Russell Wilson. Dude looked like he wanted to cry, and I would too. Broncos absolutely say they want to back you, give you an extension, but don't want to go for it on 4th and 5 to win the game. Come on. You paid Russell Wilson. You traded everything for Russell Wilson, and you're not going to give him the 4th and 5 in his former stadium? Absolute L from the head coach from the Broncos there. But, I think the Broncos, I've been saying they're not going to make the playoffs. They just lost to the Seattle Seahawks. But anyways, let's get into the Week 2 predictions. First game, Thursday Night Football, Chargers, Chiefs. I got the Chargers. I think the Chiefs had their way against the Cardinals, but the Chargers have a way better defense than the Chiefs, and I think here Mahomes is going to have a little bit of a stinker. I think it'll still be a close game, but not as high scoring as it has been years prior. Then we've got Dolphins, Ravens. I think the Dolphins are going to go into Baltimore and get that W, because the Baltimore Ravens, as I said, are very overrated. And I think the Dolphins are more of a complete team, except in the quarterback position and maybe tight end. Then Jets, Browns. I think the Browns get the win. The Jets absolutely stink, and they don't even have their starting quarterback in Zach Wilson. Browns showed that they can sneak out wins against teams they shouldn't have, get wins off. So I think the Browns are going to be a little bit hard to beat this year. Harder than I would have thought at the beginning of the year. So they'll get the win here. Steelers, Patriots. Patriots look absolutely garbage against the Dolphins. And I think the Steelers had an impressive win against the Bengals in Cincinnati. So why not get a win against the Patriots, who had a stinker against Miami? I've got the Steelers beating the Patriots at home. Then we've got Colts, Jags. Yes, I've been just talking about how the Jags are going to make the playoffs. But I've got the Colts. The Colts are going to get a win. They're going to be 1 win and 1 tie. Weird record, but yeah, this team is a lot better than the Jags. And the Jags haven't even figured it out, but I think the Colts will get the W here. Then we've got Panthers, Giants. Yeah, the Giants shocked the world, but I think Baker Mayfield's going to get a win here against the Giants, because I don't think the Giants are all that good. They are going to ride along again. I don't know how long riding on Saquon Barkley's coattails is going to last, because you can't work a guy that much that has an injury past. But we'll see how it goes for the Giants. Anyways, Saints, Bucks. Saints absolutely own Tom Brady, and I don't remember the last time Tom Brady went into the Dome and took out a W. Since the playoffs, yeah. I almost forgot about that. You're about to roast me in the comments saying, what about the playoffs? Yeah, whatever. Lions, Commanders. I think the Lions are going to get a win here. Their offense looked absolutely spectacular, even though they couldn't get the win against the Eagles. And I think the Commanders aren't very good. I think they're a mid team that might get 8 or 7 wins. Then we've got Seahawks, 49ers. I think now you're going to be putting Trey Lance at home. He did lose Elijah Mitchell, but, running back, Deebo Samuels can play running back and receiver. So I think you'll just probably see Deebo Samuels a little bit at running back now that their starting running back's hurt. And I think they'll get the win ultimately, and they're going to try to go back to last year's scheme a little bit more. Rams, Falcons. Come on, the Rams are going to win. The Falcons are garbage. Broncos Texans. I think the Broncos win that game. The Texans aren't very good. I know they just got a tie off the Colts, but I think Russell Wilson is gonna be able to manage to beat the Texans this time. Then we've got Cardinals versus the Raiders. I think the Raiders are gonna ultimately get this win here. They just lost to the Chargers, and I don't really think the Cardinals are all that good anymore. I did have them going 10-7, but they got absolutely killed by the Chiefs week 1. No Tyreek Hill, and they got murdered. Murdered. So I think they go 0-2 here. Bengals, Cowboys, Cooper Rush, come on. Even though I don't like Joe Burrow, Cooper Rush, come on. Bengals could win that game. I think we all know that's going to happen. But if they do lose, I'm going to be the first one out here talking about, is Joe Burrow a one-year wonder? Because you have to beat Cooper Rush and that Cowboys, team, because they went out there, dropped 3 points with Dak Prescott. He's out in the fourth quarter, 4 minutes left, 3 points only scored. You can't let them score a touchdown because they haven't even, come on. You absolutely have to go out there and win. Then you've got the Bears, Packers. I think here the Packers are going to get the win. The Bears got really lucky. It was like pouring that day, and they had a swimming pool to play in, and they probably had those conditions they practice in. The Niners had absolutely no idea what they were getting themselves into. And, come on. Aaron Rodgers owns the Packers. We all know this. Aaron Rodgers owns the Bears. We all know this. Titans play the Bills. I think the Bills are going to get the win. The Titans aren't very good. I don't have them really making the playoffs. And the Bills are absolutely on demon time. But I wouldn't be surprised if they lose this game, because the Bills always have 1 or 2 games where they lose to absolutely nobodies. It's like last year they lost to the Jags 9-3 when the Jags head coach didn't even know probably how good Josh Allen was. He was probably like, damn, bro, we're playing against Alabama again. Anyways, Monday Night Football, we got the Vikings, the Eagles. I think the Vikings are the real deal. Like I said, the Eagles seem like they have absolutely no capabilities of having any resistance against, the run, against the passing. So Justin Jefferson and Dalvin Cook career games. I think it's going to be another high-scoring game, though, unless that Vikings defense turns up like they did on Aaron Rodgers, which is, absolutely crazy. They were murdering him out there. No mercy, Cobra Kai, effects on them. But anyways, those are my predictions. Leave a comment down below if you think I'm dumb in any of these predictions. And I want to know your reasoning. I really want to know what you guys have to say. But anyways, please like and subscribe for more videos like this. And I'm really excited how you guys are going to like this new series I'll be doing every Tuesday. But anyways, thank you.